This is what we're going to make. We did the HTML part of this page. We have a heading here. We have a bootstrap container with a first row is a column 12 with a heading, products we sell. I placed it in the middle by talking to the column and saying text-center to the column 12. And then we closed the row, started another row. And on this, we have an image that I'm giving you. I've attached to this assignment. It's a clean PNG with no background. It's just the box. And we have a box and a button. And the box has an A tag around it. And when you click it, the modal shows up. And again, there's three parts to the modal. It's the modal header here where it says box 1. And then the modal body, which includes the image and wrapped Latin text around it. I've included the Latin text generator at lipsum.com if you need it, if you're not working in Atom and you're working in Caret. We have two buttons, Buy Now and Add Cart, that don't go anywhere, but they're buttons. And then we have the footer, the modal footer at the bottom that we designed. And notice the box 1 header and the modal footer have the same background color. And there's a close button here. And there's also a close button here. And also, if I just click away from it, it closes on itself too. So there you go. That's what we're making. So we just did the HTML without don't even really look at the page because nothing's going to work or look good. And then now what we're going to do is, if you remember, here is at the top of our HTML page, right under the title, we're linking to the Bootstrap min CSS file in the CSS folder. So we're basically, where this web page is, we're saying, hey, right where this web page is, there's a folder called CSS. The slash means go inside of it, go inside that CSS folder and look for a file, bootstrap.min.css. Okay, and its relationship to this is called a style sheet. So we did that. That makes the Bootstrap grid and the modal work. And then this is a separate little file that we create either in Caret or Atom. And we're going to name it single_product.css right here. And we're going to place it in the CSS folder just where all of our other CSS folders files are. Okay? So I did that and I showed you that in the first video, but now we're going to actually create it and then make it, and type it out. So I am going to show you, let me go to toggle soft wrap. Okay. I've changed this a couple times, so I might have a couple little CSS things that really we don't need. I don't know if we have too many of those. There might be one thing, but anyways, let me sorry. There we go. You save it. Okay. And then let me just check it. Again, I tried to clean it up. Yeah, it works. Okay. All right, so we're back to that here. So again, you should have a separate CSS or file that you created in Atom or Caret, and you named it single_product.css, and you put it in the CSS folder, and we're talking to it. Now, we have a couple different areas on our web page that I've given a class name to. So the first one is that large heading, products we sell, and I gave it a class name of header. So this is what we're doing to .header. Again, it's a class name, so you want a period before the name, and we're making a laundry list of stuff, changing the font family, font style, font size, and then the color. And I grabbed the color off of Color Lovers and just grabbed a I don't know, you can grab any color you want, but as long as you don't have to use my color, but I want you to basically type out everything exactly, so you might as well. Okay, so again, you're going to stop and start this video, okay, and go ahead and type that out, .header, and then now this is the drop shadow. So we have a drop shadow. We really haven't done this before. And so when you mouse over the image on the web page, it drop shadow appears. And this is what's happening. Notice it's when I hover over the image. So it's :hover. And this filter drop shadow is a CSS3 thing that, again, we have really never used. So I wanted to kind of showcase that. I thought it was kind of an interesting idea to give it a drop shadow. So go ahead and, again, type that out exactly. The number sign 222 is just kind of a slate dark gray. It's not black. It's not gray. It's like in between. And it's a number 222 that a lot of web designers use instead of using a black, which is 000. Okay, so stop that and type it, and then now we're going to go into the modal. And the modal content is the whole modal itself. Okay, and I'm changing the color of the whole modal. And then I'm also changing the background color of the header area of the modal, which is the top part, and then the modal footer. Sorry. And that way it's kind of a mirror image of the header and the footer on the modal area. Once you click it and the modal shows up. Okay. And let me see here, just a second. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so again, stop and type that out exactly the way it is. Again, it's a dot period because it's a class name. And now this is a Bootstrap class name. And we're giving space to the image a little bit. So we're making it, basically stay in the middle and be responsive as far as scaling goes. And we're adding a few things that the image-responsive, which is a Bootstrap class name, doesn't do. We can take that name and just add to it, and that's what we're doing. Okay, so it's .img-responsive. Type it out exactly the way I have it. Again, the margin, we're giving it 2 numbers, so because of that, the computer recognizes that the first number is going to be for the top and the bottom, and the second value, auto, is going to be for the left and the right. So we're allowing the computer to figure out how to keep our image in the middle of that area. All right. Now, BTN, this is, sorry. Let me get all of that here. So this is all the stuff we're doing to .btn. Notice I'm doing something overall to .btn, and I'm also doing something on the hover and then the active. And these are different states of a button. So, really, a button is kind of an A tag, but we're actually, I think, using the button tag. So go ahead and type that out exactly the way I have it. And you might have to, if you mess up, you might have to kind of just research what you typed and look at what you typed again and see if you have to make any changes. Okay? Now, there is something I'm doing to the class name called DotTopsy, and I actually forget what that is, but that might be the whole. It might be the whole row, and I'm creating empty space. All right, and then I have something called .row and margin top, margin bottom. And then this is the IMG in the modal, and I'm floating it left, and remember it's in the modal content area, modal body area, and it's floating left, and it allows you to put Latin text around it. So the Latin text floats around it, and then padding is just empty space around the image, And then margin is even more empty space around the image but outside of the image. Padding and margin are very similar. Padding is inside an element. Margin is outside an element. Okay, the modal paragraph, the paragraph of Latin text. I changed the margin top to kind of bring it down to where the image top is, so they align horizontally. And then the modal title is the word, I believe, box or something on the in the header. So type it out exactly the way I have it. And then the last thing is text align center for the BTN. Okay, so that should do it. So if you get everything correct, and you've done the single underscore product.css page exactly the way I have it, you've also taken your time and to get all of the different things that I have for the web page. And in fact, toggle soft wrap. And when you do, it should look something like that. And again, here's the modal header, modal body, and then modal footer. All right.